Hi, and welcome back to my global ride, now from India. After I got some parts replaced at Triumph in Gurgaon, I'm leaving the Delhi area, as you can see here, and I'm riding to Rajasthan. Reaching that state pretty quick, and it's a total different mood. I cannot explain. Rajasthan represents India for me. The lighting there is very special, and it's much nicer to ride here than between Amritsar and Delhi. And the first place that I visit is the Camel market in Pushkar. First, let me apologize that you hear this voiceover. I prefer to give you all the information directly live spoken from my helmet, but sometimes the microphone setup fails. So did it this time. So for the third episode now, you hear me talking voiceover. This will be solved for the next episode, I promise. You see me entering Pushkar here. For Indian relations, Pushkar is a little town, but it's very interesting because of two things for me. I am lucky enough to meet the time of the Camel market that happens here once a year. And the second thing is it's a very religious place too. You find here a lot of, I think they are called Babas, Indian people that are very religious and do not care about owning anything. So they're traveling around the country and depending on giveaways from other people. Here I reached my hotel shortly before sunset, which I used later on to get some first impressions of the town Pushkar. Next morning then, I started my hike direction the Camel market, which is a little bit outside of Pushkar, but I passed by this, I don't know, celebrity, Maharaja, whoever that was. Last thing to see, the holy lake of Pushkar. Rajasthan is huge and there's so many things to see. My next destination for this day is Jotpur, but I choose a little detour on the way to see Ajmer with its beautiful lake and the Taragar fort, which is in the hills above Ajmer. Another 2 hours ride and I reach Jotpur. I have been here before and I love this town, especially because of this marketplace with a clock tower in the middle. I had some very nice experiences here when I visited in 2016. And again, I stopped my bike here and by coincidence I got to know Vinay. Vinay is, as it turned out, a guitar player, musician, and he has exactly the same music taste like I do. So we had a really nice talk and he suggested that we do some little jam session on the rooftop terrace of my hostel. And that's exactly what happened here. If this is not your type of music, I am sorry that you had to endure now 3 minutes, but this is exactly my kind of music and Vinay is an artist. And this is something that I want to mention once. Yes, traveling for most of the people is going from place to place and from sightseeing to sightseeing. For me now, after more than 1 year, it's not the case anymore. It's about meeting people. And Vinay was not only an artist with the guitar, he was a very well educated, very well English spoken guy from India. We had long talks also about daily life things like arranged marriage in India, for example, and very interesting talks. Other people here were involved on the rooftop terrace, international people. So that was really, really interesting, and this is what traveling for me is all about. That palace that you see here in the background, of course, is Jodhpur's #1 sightseeing spot. And yes, I do sightseeing on the next day, as you see here. One of the guests of the rooftop, Adriana from Spain, and me, we discovered that Maharaja Palace. By the way, there is still an acting Maharaja sitting up there. Hi, Ganesh bhai.